Who's this? Yesterday's Nintendo Direct featured another trailer for the upcoming Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, a Koei Tecmo game set during Tears of the Kingdom's distant past, the era to which Zelda time travelled. While this will be a Warriors-style game, like Age of Calamity and the original Hyrule Warriors game before it, Nintendo have repeatedly made a point of clarifying that this story is canonical, that these are the events leading up to Tears of the Kingdom. And most of what we've seen in the trailers seems to support this. So far, everything that has been shown are things that we know existed during the Imprisoning War, or things we could assume existed then, like this Korok character. Everything seems to make sense. The game will be a fleshed out, horde combat filled look at Zelda's time in the distant past. Everything, that is, except for this. The trailer before this most recent one ended with this shot, where we see a zonai door, not unlike those found in the Room of Awakening on the Great Sky Island, as a familiar theme plays. That's Fi's theme. Fi is of course the spirit of the Master Sword, introduced in Skyward Sword as a creation of the goddess Hylia, to guide her chosen hero on his journey to stop demise. At the end of the game, she returns to the Master Sword to rest, and Breath of the Wild hints that she remains here after all these years, when Zelda speaks to the blade and Fi's sound effect plays. As far as we know, the Master Sword wasn't present during the Imprisoning War. It was damaged in the present day by Ganondorf, then sent back through time to Zelda, leading to her draconification to heal the sword and return it to Link. But the blade only arrived in the distant past after the Demon King was sealed. It, nor Link, took part in this conflict. So it's immediately strange to hear Fi's theme in this trailer during the distant past. But even stranger is what we see following this, a construct unlike any we've seen before. Constructs are zonai machines which appear to house spirits. We see this in particular with Mineru's construct, which acts something like a vessel for her disembodied soul. We don't know that this is the case for all constructs. As far as I'm aware, it's never mentioned if the lesser constructs, like soldiers or steward constructs, house the souls of once living beings, or if they possess some kind of artificial life of their own. But it's important that at least Mineru's construct houses spirits, as it suggests that this new one might be doing the same thing, and acting as a vessel for someone's soul. This new construct featured heavily in the most recent trailer for the game. It's first seen here, where it takes the form of an aeroplane. Propelled by a blue jet, gliding on white wings, it soars above a desolate landscape. We then see the same plane weaving through the air to avoid the attacks of a Gleeok, before a final shot of the construct unfolding, transforming out of its plane form and into the humanoid one from the previous trailer, then skydiving into the depths. Perhaps most interesting of all is the game's key artwork, where this construct appears just behind Zelda. It wears a hood made of the same zonai cloth as its tunic, from which long hair made out of zonai energy falls on either side of its head, and wields a zonai sword in its right hand. So who is this? The implication seems to be that this is Link. The design parallels are clear, especially to the Link of the Wild era games. Like the hero of the Wild, this construct wears a hood, has long, wild sideburns, is right-handed, and the shot of the construct skydiving feels like a clear reference to the opening of Tears of the Kingdom. Link is of course a playable character in all of the Hyrule Warriors games, but his appearance in this one was a little less certain. And that's because, for this game to remain canon, Link can't be sent back through time to join the fight, for a few reasons. First, and most obvious, we follow Link's journey in Tears of the Kingdom, and no part of it involved hopping back through time for a quick war. Second, and most importantly, Rauru does not know Link. He only learns about him through Zelda during the distant past, and only sees him in person in the present day, as a spirit on the Great Sky Island. However, that doesn't mean that a Link construct couldn't have fought during the Imprisoning War. If this construct is designed to house Link's spirit, in much the same way that Mineru's does hers, it could be a way to feature him in this game without breaking canon. So let's explore this concept. Assuming this is meant to be Link, how could this addition factor into the story? The mystery construct appears to have been discovered during the events of Age of Imprisonment in an already ancient cave, meaning that it likely predates Rauru, Mineru, and the early Kingdom of Hyrule by some time. However, it's still recognisably zonai. It's made of the same material and is in the same style as other constructs, and even wears a tunic like the other denizens of this era. This would suggest that this construct was built by the ancient zonai, the godlike civilization who once lived in the sky, from whom Rauru and Mineru are descended. But the most important question to answer is whose spirit, if any, powers it? Of course, there's the possibility that this new construct is autonomous, like the lesser constructs appear to be. That this is a robot hero, a synthetic Link without a true soul. While possible, I don't think that this idea is very satisfying, so we'll shelve it for now. The most obvious answer is that this is the Wild Era Link's spirit, somehow transferred across time so that the hero of the Wild could join the Imprisoning War. Like I've already said, the construct's design seems to mirror this iteration of Link more than any other, and it would seem to make the most sense for a Tears of the Kingdom prequel game to feature Tears of the Kingdom Link. But this idea suffers from the same issues as having Link himself time travel to join Age of Imprisonment. No part of Tears of the Kingdom involves sending Link's consciousness back through time, and on the Great Sky Island, Raru's spirit is seeing Link for the first time. These interactions wouldn't really make sense had he fought alongside this hero's spirit during the Imprisoning War. This same argument could be made for other characters' interactions with Link in Tears of the Kingdom too. The ancient sages, Mineru, and Zelda herself all fought during this ancient conflict, apparently alongside this mysterious construct. If this was the spirit of this Link, it feels like something that would be mentioned at some point. The other possibility, then, is that this construct houses the spirit of a different Link. We don't know how many, if any, Links predate Raru's Kingdom of Hyrule, but it seems likely that the answer is at least one, the hero of the skies, the Link from Skyward Sword, the events of which do seem to still be canon to the Wild Era Zelda games. The Master Sword is still said to be the work of a goddess and still houses its spirit, Fi. Speaking of Fi, we should circle back to her theme, which plays during this mysterious construct's reveal. For some time, many fans speculated that this could point to the construct housing Fi's spirit, allowing her to fight with a physical body. While this idea sounds amazing, it seems far less likely now that we've seen more of this construct. It now seems pretty certain that it's some incarnation of Link. Fi's theme can't be ignored though. The Master Sword is notably absent from this time period, until the broken blade lands in Zelda's hands after the conflict is over. But this doesn't mean that a Master Sword didn't exist during this era. In fact, assuming that Skyward Sword is still canon, the sword must exist somewhere in this world. So perhaps the Master Sword will play a larger role in this story than we expect. Could the Master Sword be responsible for the discovery of this mysterious construct? Perhaps Fi knew of this ancient cave and revealed it to our characters, explaining why her theme plays during this scene. If this construct is as old as it seems, a secret relic of the ancient zonai, then it might house the spirit of an ancient Link. Just like how Mineru's spirit survives all the way up until Tears of the Kingdom, where she fights the Demon King in her construct, a spirit of a long-dead hero might have endured in this secret cave, waiting to be awakened to fight once again. It's notable that Tears of the Kingdom featured something similar to this, with the Ancient Heroes aspect, an item which, when worn, envelops Link in the form of a mysterious, unknown hero. While Impa suggests that this hero is the very same who sealed the Calamity Ganon alongside the Sheikah 10,000 years before Breath of the Wild, this warrior's story remains a mystery. Perhaps he is connected to this new construct in some way. In truth, there's still so much we don't know about this mysterious construct, and I can't wait to learn more. For me, it's by far the most interesting aspect of Age of Imprisonment. I love its design, and especially the lore revelations it might bring. And now that we know the game launches on November the 6th, it's not long until we find out what it is. Thanks for watching this video. What do you think about this mysterious construct? Who do you think it is? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, leave a like, or subscribe if you haven't already for more Zelda content. Cheers guys, and I'll see you next time.